Happy Friday, everybody, and hope everyone's having a great day. So over 25 states have ended the federal unemployment benefits early, but data suggests that it is not getting people back to work. In fact, many lawmakers want the Biden administration to send out more financial relief to Americans. And about half of the United States withdrew federal funds for the unemployed people months early to encourage out-of-work residents to find a job. But now many economists are saying that this wasn't the right thing to do. Folks, what do you think about the unemployment extension? Should the benefits be extended? Leave your thoughts in the comments below.
So I know a little bit about roads and sidewalks and bridges and all that stuff. It is terribly important. We have an enormous amount of work to be done in that area. But human infrastructure, the needs of working families and our children and our elderly, that's actually more important.
Now folks, you have to know this. Employment fell 0.9% in states that ended federal benefits between mid-June and mid-July, but rose 2.3% in states that kept them. The analysis examined percent change in number of employees working relative to 2021 of April, as millions of people turned to the unemployment system amid mass layoffs. They raised the amount of weekly benefits, currently by $300 a week, and offered aid to workers who don't typically qualify, like the long-term unemployed and gig workers, the self-employed part-timers and freelancers. Now talk of labor shortages and the role of expanded benefits in them began in earnest following the April jobs report. The U.S. economy added 269,000 new jobs that month.
So both of these bills have got to go forward together. And when we do that, we will create many, many good-paying jobs. And one of the things I'm really excited about is we go forward in transforming our energy system and trying to reverse climate change. We're going to create a civilian climate corps.
And some economists argue that crisis-related factors, not jobless benefits, are the primary reasons why workers may not be returning to the workforce as quickly as anticipated. For example, parents may still not have adequate childcare, and those who can't work from home may still be cautious for health reasons. Nationally, fewer unemployed people flagged the crisis as a reason for not searching urgently for work in July relative to June.
The fastest growing economic growth in nearly 40 years. And now we have an opportunity to make historic investments in our infrastructure and in our families, and finally build an economy that deals everybody in. Just doesn't come from the top down, but from the middle and the bottom up.
Now with the $300 supplement, almost half of jobless workers make as much or more money on unemployed benefits than their lost paychecks. But stimulus checks did serve as a lifeline for those in need. Congress authorized the first $1,200 stimulus checks per person in March 2020, and subsequent payments of up to $600 and $1,400 in December and this past March respectively. In total, individuals could have received up to $3,200, and married couples up to $6,400.
To people who have a whole lot of money, guess what? You're going to have to contribute more into Social Security. What we do is start at $250,000. So people making more than $250,000 will pay the same percentage of their incomes into the Social Security Trust Fund as people making $40,000 or $50,000. You do that, you extend the life of Social Security to the year 2065, and you expand benefits. Second thing our legislation does is I've heard some of my Republican colleagues talk about how the COLAs, cost of living adjustments, are just too generous. Well, this year they're zero. I'm not quite sure how zero is too generous. And the reason that we have inadequate COLAs is that seniors' purchasing needs are very different than 18-year-olds or 20-year-olds. We need a segregated system to determine how much seniors are spending, what their real inflationary costs are, and they are higher than the general public. America every month for the duration of the crisis to provide them with the assistance they need to pay their bills and take care of their families.
Okay.
Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer signaled he's hoping for...
Hopefully we can bring this bill to a close very shortly.
Folks, that's all the news in this video. I hope everybody found this video useful and helpful. If you did, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and give this video a like.
Which will provide hundreds of thousands of good-paying jobs for young people and give them the opportunity to lead the effort in trying to save this planet. So there's just a lot that we have to do. Now is the time to do it. And I will tell you that you got a lot of special interest companies who are going to lower the cost of prescription, the healthcare industry, the fossil fuel industry, you name the big money interests are going to try to defeat us. But it's important that we hang in there together and that we pass this bill.
I want to take us back to the 2008 financial crash. Between 2007 and 2010, there were an estimated 3.8 million foreclosures. The recession hit Black families the hardest, wiping out nearly all of the growth in Black home ownership since the Fair Housing Act back in the 1960s. Black and Latino families' wealth plummeted. The crash devastated families, but not everyone got hurt. Private equity firms had a giant payday. Between 2011 and 2017, large corporate investors purchased more than 200,000 homes, turning homes that had once been owned by families into poorly managed rental properties and turning private equity firms into predatory landlords. This massive transfer of wealth from families to corporations got a helping hand from the federal government. The Federal Housing Administration, FHA, started bundling distressed mortgages from different parts of the country and putting them up for auction. Ms. Gordon, say a family renting a home down the street from a foreclosed FHA property wanted to buy that property and become a homeowner. Would they have been able to do so through the program that the FHA set up to sell pools of distressed mortgages?
Thank you, Senator, for that question. And the answer is no, they would not. That's not how these homes were sold. There were several different kinds of bulk sales that happened after the crisis, both by FHA and by Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. Bulk sales of properties that had already been foreclosed on, which also were sold to investors, and bulk sales of what we call non-performing loans, which are held by somebody else, managed by somebody else, and in many cases, as you mentioned, never return to owner occupancy because they're then used for rental because it brings more of a cash flow for the investor.